Let me wait for. Okay, so this meeting is now being recorded. This session is being recorded, and it's the 2021 Solution Challenge Kickoff Call. We've had stuff that we did over the year, and now it's 2021. So new things, new stuffs that are coming up. Okay, so as we get other guys coming in, I hope you guys are sharing up the link. And those who are physically will also be joining us virtually. So just let me have just 4 minutes of chit chat. You can unmute and talk to me, talk to other guys on the call. Just 4 minutes. At exactly 4:15, I'll be starting up with today's presentation. So unmute and let's hear you up. Is there anyone who wishes to talk to us? You can unmute and talk to us. Andrew, Ezra, Faith, you can unmute and
Hey, am I loud and clear?
can hear you.
Oh, great. For guys who are here physically and those guys who are virtual, I see 7 guys are virtual, but part of the 7 are also physical. So I must count like 3 guys are on virtual call. Now we have gone through different stages up to where we are now, and it's time to showcase what we have. So we are going to have our solution challenge, which we are having. We're already kicking off. Yes. Sorry about that. So we have trained guys, Android. We had very many workshops last year, and now this is the time. We are going to have a competition, a worldwide competition. It's not only DSC Mbarara that's going to have this. We are competing with other DSCs. So this is the time for you to let us know what you really gain. You did Kotlin, you did Android. I don't know, Ezra, I did TensorFlow, whatever. So this is the time. But we need productive ideas that are going to take us out there. And Weasley told me this time we're dealing with the SDGs, which is a very good thing because, the UN is focusing on on the youth 19, 17 SDG career goals. All these are going to be based on the Google technologies that we use. And don't worry, the resources are all there, will be given. I really don't have much to say because Weasley is going to explain to us all that he has. And for me, I wish you good luck in your projects. Those guys in my team, wish us good luck. Yeah, I mean, the rest of you, I don't know about you. I don't know your projects. I think I'll switch back to Weasley or anyone on the virtual call that wants to say something. Ezra and Pima will say something, then we'll continue.
You're welcome, everyone. Nice to have such gatherings because it makes life better for us and the world as a whole. So, good evening to all of you, and I wish you luck in your projects. May we all change the world with these 17 SDGs. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ezra. Thank you, Andrew, for your communication. So I'm talking up with our faculty advisor here who is trying to join in, and he'll be here anytime soon. For the meantime, now let me try to open up for why we have this kickoff call today. Last year, I communicated that Google would be opening up what we call the Solution Challenge. This is a worldwide, this is a global solution challenge for all developer student clubs around the world. This is where students get that platform, that global platform, that global stage where they can showcase their innovations, where they can showcase all their ideas. So I'm Okay, so this solution challenge, the campaign for us to start in was started on January 12th. That's when we had the official launch. And over the weeks, I've had different kickoff calls from the global leads, Erica Hanson and Patel. So now this is the time for us as DSC Mbarara University to also unpack what is contained in the 2021 Solution Challenge. I hope you all can see my slides because we now are starting off. Okay, so the Solution Challenge, Google Developer Student Clubs, and this is just basically an info session, what we have, what we need to do, what we need to know, and that's what I'm going to be sharing with you today. Okay. So we have this small session has contents. We're going to see the overview, brief history, a brief talk about the solution challenge, uh, talk about the prizes. You know, it's a challenge, so that means there is a winner, and the winner takes on prizes. We have the judging criteria. If you're going to participate in this challenge, how are you judged? How are you going to be assessed and evaluated? What does it take for you to be a winner? And then the timeline. Like I already said, we have a timeline of when we start and when we end. So I'll be sharing that. And then we see some few overview videos from the DSC Global Lead, who is Erica Hanson, and some few other guys who wish to join us. And then we're going to see the resources that we also need to have at our disposal in going into this solution challenge. And then see the frequently asked questions, and then have a look back at what happened in the 2020 solution challenge. Okay, so this is basically the overview. Okay, so we have a few guys joining in. Okay. So we are saying the Google Developer Student Clubs. Now, this is something that is new. We are told during our kickoff call a few weeks ago that Developer Student Clubs are being rebranded. You know, it was DSC, Developer Student Clubs, but now they're rebranding it. And if you realize, okay, so if you realize my slides now are branded into Google Developer Student Clubs. So it's getting bigger, it's getting better. When we talked about Developer Student Clubs, you had to explain to someone that, you know, this is part of Google Developer community, and I'll be like, yeah, I get that. But now, since it's Google Developer Student Clubs, then it's a whole big thing, and that means we are getting better. So the 2021 Solution Challenge mission is simply to solve for one of the United Nations 17 Sustainable Development Goals using Google technologies. In the past years, when the Solution Challenge started, people would just submit in any forms of solutions, any kinds of innovations they have, and yeah, there would be winners and of course the losers, but then we're saying, let's develop solutions, let's innovate, let's have those ideas originating from real world problems. And UN profiled down the real world problems into what we call the 17 Sustainable Development Goals. So if you're looking out for a problem to solve in this world, trust me, it will be within the scope of these 17 SDGs. In that way, we ensure that you're really, trying to find a solution to a real world problem. So these SDGs were created in 2015, and they have to be achieved by 2030. That means we just have about 9 years left for us to achieve these goals. And these goals have been agreed upon by almost 193 countries, which are member states of the UN, and they aim to end poverty, ensure prosperity, and most importantly, protect this green planet. So if you're going to think about your solution, if you're going to think about something innovative, then it better be about ending poverty, ensuring prosperity, and protecting the planet. Okay, so the prizes, okay? This is the best part where people want to listen in and know what is in for them. All participants that are going to be in this will receive a Google Developers Digital Profile Badge. There has been a new domain under the Google family. It's called google.dev. This new domain or this new website is only and only for developers to profile down different developers globally. And the only way you can be profiled down, have your CV as a Google developer, is by earning those badges for everything that you do. Those who joined us in the Android study jams, they received that badge. So it shows that you've really gone through the Android study jams and you can do something within Android. And then you'll also receive official certificates. Now we have about 1,262 developer student clubs across the world, and every participant who successfully submits in a solution will get an official certificate from Google. And then the top 50 teams, and this is different from top 50 DSCs, because when we submit in our solutions, we'll be submitting them through DSCs, these clubs that we are in, but we are submitting them as individual teams, not as a person, but teams. So Mbarara University can have 50 teams, Makerere can have about 100 teams, And if it so happens that the 50 teams from Mbarara are the top 50, then those top 50 teams will receive customized mentorship from Googlers and Google developer experts to take on their solutions. So you had a solution, you did it on your own with limited research, with limited mentorship, with all those hardships. But when you make it among the top 50, you get a team of Googlers, people working with Google. You get a team of Google developer experts, people that have been there and have experience in those fields, take you on and develop your solutions into much better and commercial solutions. Then the top 10 finalists, out of the 50, we pick out the top 10 finalists. These ones will receive more additional mentorship. They get to have swags, and there is a 1-year subscription to Pluralsight, so you can get access to everything on Pluralsight. Then there's the opportunity to showcase your solutions to Googlers and developers all around the world at a demo day, which is oftentimes live on YouTube. So you have Googlers, people working at Mountain View in USA, seated down, and it's your show. It's your time to show them what you're doing. And then the top 3 winners, will receive a Chromebook, that is a laptop designed and made by Google. You receive a coffee chat with a Google executive. I don't know who that would be. Maybe it could be the vice president of Google. Maybe it could be Sundai, the CEO. So, and then on top of that, you get to feature on the Google Developers blog. Now, this is the biggest platform. This is the biggest blog where developers, investors, venture capitalists join in to view what is happening around the world. And so, on top of the prizes, here's something that I didn't put in here. It was mine to keep, but then I have to let you know, guys know. A DSC club, one single club that pulls in the highest number of teams. I've already said most can have about 50 or 100 or 200, but the single club that pulls in the biggest number of teams receives struts there and then. No arguing. Whether you guys made it to the finals or what, but you receive your swags there and then. So if Must can build up to like 100 teams, then I'll be at the bus picking up your swags very soon. So each team member is really invited into, try to participate in this. Okay, so what's the judging criteria? You're going into a challenge. We're going into a challenge where there will be winners and runners up. There will be some people who obviously don't make it somewhere. So what decides that you've gone through or going through? The impact of your project, okay? The panel of judges from Google will use these criteria to evaluate and give you a score for your submission, for your solution. The impact has to be based on at least one SDG that your solution is solving. So does the entry establish a clear challenge focused on one or more of the UN 17 SDGs? If your solution is solving just one or more SDGs, that's 10 marks for you. We don't care about which solution or how it does, but the fact that your solution is solving or is working upon one SDG or even more, you have 10 marks for that. How effectively does the solution address the challenge identified by the team? How effectively does your solution solve this challenge that you've identified. That is 20. If you know that your solution, let it be a mobile application, let it be a web system, or even an embedded system, hardware systems, if they are solving effectively a challenge, you're in to go. Is there evidence of a next step? Now, these solutions that we're going to do are not final solutions, because Google understands that we don't have so much time to develop solutions and put them out on the market. All they need is an MVP. All they need is just a prototype. If you have a working prototype, then you're good to go. So your prototype should show that you have the next step. Yes, I'm done with the prototype, but I have a guarantee, or I have a next step of finalizing this prototype into a final product. So you need to show that step. Does the team display a plan for the future extension if they were to continue? Let's say you've been chosen as the top winner among the top 3, and then they ask you, so what do we do next? And you're like, I don't know. Okay, so you need to have a step. You need to make sure that when you submit in the prototype, there is what you do next when you're called upon. And then, is there evidence that the solution has been thoroughly tested with real users? If you can provide evidence, that means you're going to go to the field with your solution, with your prototype, and give it to the real users, the intended users. If it's about patients at the hospital, have you gone to the hospital and really gotten the data? Have you gone to the hospital and had your prototype used by the real patients? So you need to document that evidence. If it's there, you already have your 10 marks and you're blowing off. Then is there evidence with that the solution was iterated upon based on user feedback? You did something, you went to the field, a user told you, no, this is not how we do it. Or a medical practitioner told you, no, I think you're missing a critical input into your solution. Did you come back and implement it? When you've done implementing it, did you go out again and, felt like, yeah, let's add in something else? So that iteration, step by step, fail, go in, there's something missing, you still go in. It has to be there. You need to document that evidence too. Then the technology part now. So you realize that the impact, just the impact before, whether your app is Android, whether it's made in React, whether it's made in Flutter, before they even look at that, the impact of your solution is taking up 60 points. So you don't have to kill yourself with those hard technologies. The technology part is just 40 points. Then what do we do, or how will the panel look through the technology part? Does the solution implement all the technical components needed to solve the challenge? If, for instance, I'm going to develop, let's say, a social network, a social media platform, the essence of the social media platform is to communicate. That's the essence. It's never about how many numbers do I have on WhatsApp. It's never about how many people view my WhatsApp status. The major aim of WhatsApp is communication. Am I able to communicate? If that is correctly implemented, if I can communicate with Martin, I can communicate with Edgar, I can communicate with any person, then that's the basis. Even if you don't show in your solution, like when I post a status, 50 people can view it, that is not solving. That's not working up on any challenge. So the major aim is, can I send a message? Yes. If it's agriculture, the main instance is me, like, let's say, take a pic of a plant and then do image processing and know whether that plant is affected by a certain disease that I want to predict. The fact that I can take a pic and the fact that I can get feedback from the image processing is enough. You don't need to now start implementing. You see, when the pic is here, maybe it's posted and people can comment on it. No, we are so much focused on the feedback you get from the solution, from the pic, not the other components. So you need to narrow down, make sure that those much needed components are tackled, the rest can come in. And the rest can actually be your next step. Like when I'm done with this, I intend to have like people commenting up on this result, on this feedback. So that becomes like your future step. And then has the team clearly explained what Google technology they used, why and included guidance on how to run their code. Now, this is what you're going to do. For a solution to be submitted, it should have used at least one Google technology in it. You can do your Python if you're good at Python, but host it on Firebase. Now, when you host it on Firebase, that is a Google technology that you've used. If you're going to do Android itself is a Google technology, so you're done. Doesn't matter whether you implement OpenCV, whether you implement other components in, but you've used Android. You can basically do your bootstrap, but at the end of the day, you host it on Google Cloud Platform. Now you've used Google Cloud Platform as a Google technology. So you need to make sure that you've used one Google technology and explain how you're using it. You say, we are using Firebase to host, to have a real-time database. We are using Google Cloud because our applications is cloud-based for these and these reasons. And then you'll need to show how people can go about your code. Because you're going to send that code to these guys, and they will look through it, and they should know how to run it at the end of the day. Then you're going to do a video demonstration of how your application works. You're going to have a user interact with your solution, and your demonstration should highlight Google technologies that are implemented in. So I was doing a web system in Python, so I can input user data and all that. That is done, that is okay. But I have to go ahead in my video demonstration and open Firebase and show them that, you see guys, the data that was being input has been received. From your Python, from your Django, from your Flask, you need to show them that part of a Google technology. If it is Android, then that Android application, your APK should be on Android phone. I can use it. Then, has the team made effective product and technical considerations or decisions for their solution? Are there any technical decisions that you guys had to do when you're coming up with your solution? So basically, that's how you're going to be judged. And I say this, we're going to have a demo day as must. As you guys start developing your solutions, we shall have a demo day here at must, where you guys showcase your solutions to the must community. And those who will be judging you, I don't know who yet, but they also have to use the same judging criteria. When you pass through, then we know that you're really representing must. And then we can submit in your solutions. Okay, so this is the timeline. This is how it's going to flow. From the step, from getting started to design and building, and solutions are then judging. So step one, you need to be part of a Google Developer Student Club. The form that I will show you guys at the end of this is open. It's actually not open. When you're going to register for the solution challenge, they will ask you, which club are you part of? All the clubs in the world are listed. All of them are listed. So you need to scroll through and choose which club you're part of. If you choose a club that you're not part of, these guys will go and review and they will cancel you out because you're not really part of any club. Secondly, after joining a developer student club, you need to register. Now that is the form I'm talking about. I'm going to share it after, and then we see how we register and what is needed when you're registering. Then you form a team. Everyone is going to register. After registering, you can now form a team of those members that registered. So it's not about you being the team leader and then you register and say, my boys will come along. No, you need to register as you. And then select a United Nations Sustainable Development Goal where your solution falls. When you're done with that, I believe this can be done within 10 minutes or 20. When you're done with that, now we go to the step of design and build. You've registered for the solution challenge. You're now sure that they will be asking you to submit your solution. So we start, you identify the solution. You learn and build by designing the front-end interfaces. This is a best practice. Most people, when they're designing their solutions, they want to start with the back end, designing those databases and all that before they design the actual interfaces. When you do that, when you design your back end, you're just guessing. But the real functionality comes from the interfaces. I have login. In login, I need email and password. I have sign up, I need this and this. This is what you transfer to your database, to your back end. Otherwise, in the back end, you will imagine that maybe when someone is logging in, they need a phone number. And then when you reach on interfaces, there's no way you're even going to put a phone number. So you need to go back to your database and restructure it, which is tiresome, time wasting. So you need to start with the front end interfaces, and then you go to the back end technologies. The beauty about Firebase, you don't write codes. It's a back end technology, no codes. Then you test your solution. You have the interfaces, you have the back end, then you test your solution. After testing your solution for the first time, you iterate. By testing it, you've encountered some problems. Maybe some solutions are not, some components are not working. Some components are not synchronizing with the way you wanted your application to flow. So you iterate, you go back, you work on your interfaces again, you smoothen the back end, you test. Still, you get some errors, you do the iteration again. And when you're done with that, you record a demo. Now, this is how you're going to submit. You record a demo video submitted by 31st March. Midnight. Anytime beyond that, the form closes itself and you won't be able to submit. The demo video is only and only 120 seconds. Those are 2 minutes. Only and only 120. So everything, how your solution works, how you're implementing a Google technology has to be squeezed in 2 minutes. The people who are doing graphics, who know how to do video editing, this is where I will need you. And then by May, Google will be announcing the top 50 solutions. In May or June, those top 50 will go into deep mentoring by Googlers and developer experts. In July, the top 10 will be announced. And then in August, the top 3 will be announced via YouTube. That is the demo day. And then celebrate all the 2021 Solution Challenge participants. That's when you get your certificates. That's when you get your swags if you're qualified for them. and you get your budgets. So the whole thing is taking us up to August. And incidentally, let's say my time as your DSC lead also ends in August. The day they announce the solution challenge, a week before they announce the new leads. Then they announce the solution challenge winners, and then the guys take on. So I believe when I'm out of this, I can have a winner with me. Okay, so these are overview videos. I'm just going to play the first one for you guys. It is from Erika Hanson, who is the lead. I hope you guys can hear that. Can you? No. Okay. You still can't hear it? Sorry? Okay, sorry about that then. Really? Sorry about that. Okay. I didn't realize my mic was off, but so these are the self-paced code labs that we have, where you're going to learn and pick up those materials, those resources you guys are going to use in your solutions. You want to do neural networks? Then you're going to have those resources from TensorFlow. You want to build actions for Google Assistant? We have a code lab for that already. Basics in Kotlin, we saw that. Data science cloud. People are going to do data science, solutions that involve data science. Then web pathways, if you want to do a web system, how do you go about it? Those ones are already available. But for Firebase, that one will be communicated very soon on when and how it will be open. Okay. So the design sprint kits. This is one of the popular methods you can use to identify your solution in an exercise developed by Google Ventures. It's called the design sprint. Usually you can just do it in about 5 days, and it's flexible for you to do. It's a flexible framework for solving problems. You design, you prototype, and you test ideas with users using the design sprint. And then it also allows teams to validate ideas before going through, and the energy involved in building that product. So this is how you're going to do it. The design sprint, you understand the journey mapping. You can use user interviews, experience mapping. You need to find out the people that are experienced in this. You go into the design principles. In our info session, I shared about Google's design principles. Empathize, define, ideate, prototype, test. And then you can go to the crazy eights, that are the sketches now. You're trying to sketch your interfaces. And then present the solution sketches. You go to a storyboard. When you're prototyping, you do a storyboard. What is following each other? What tasks do I have that goes after this? And then the prototyping tools, the usability study, and the walkthrough. Now, this is all the design sprint kit, and we have this at our disposal. If you're going to use this sprint kit, it's already available for us. Then these are the tutorial videos that you need. Again, I will share all these links made by Googlers who have submitted solutions to Google, so they know what Google needs, what Google is looking out for. I'll share the links of these tutorial videos in WhatsApp. And they're all about, the solution challenges. Okay, then we have online mentorship and support. As we work along in developing our solutions, we are going to need online support and mentorship from the Googlers themselves. So there's a Pantheon platform. I've already joined in there. You join it, it has about 5,000 students and 100 Google developer experts. So they are there when you're asking a question, within 4 hours, 8 hours, someone will respond to you, to your queries. And so the things that you can get help with on Pantheon is technical questions on specific Google products. Today morning, I was checking, there is someone in India who had asked, like, sir, I'm going to do a hardware solution, but I don't have the money to get the hardware components. Can I simulate this solution, use a simulation software, simulate how this hardware solution works, and submit in the simulation? And then Patel replied in and said, the Googlers will need a real tangible solution. So the simulation video may not work for you. Because in a simulation, things may work, but when you transfer to the real world project, they may not really work. So those questions are there. All the things that you're thinking about, you can ask, and well, there'll be someone to respond to you. And then the feedback on ideas from mentors. You have an idea, a crazy idea, a very innovative idea, but you don't know how to even go about it. Just put your question there, and these guys will be in to respond to you. And then technical advice on building your project. I saw most of the questions already answered. They are answers from Erica herself. So she has some time when she comes in and tries to respond to you. And then you can connect with other people. In fact, you can even look for other team members. But sadly, they may not qualify as your team members when submitting, but you can look for people who you want to collaborate with. Then each team that registers is going to get Google Cloud credits. That is to help us host our solutions on Google Cloud. So we are going to have Google Cloud credits. But take note of this. First, you must register for the solution challenge using the form. That is one. And be sure to mention that you are interested in using Google Cloud for your solution. Of course, not everyone is interested in using it. For a hardware solution, I don't know, you may not need Google Cloud. And then review your country's eligibility for cloud credits. Some countries are not eligible for cloud credits, but Uganda, we are. 2, you form a team with up to 4 students in total. That one I've been talking about it. Your team cannot exceed 4 people. Then in early Feb, these guys will send in instructions on how you request for your Google Cloud in case you indicated that you need these credits. They will send you an email with those credits. But take note, if Andrew and Ezra registered for the solution challenge, they indicated that they're going to use Google Cloud, then only and only one of them must respond to the email requesting for the Google Cloud credit. Only one student in your team. Yes, the 2 of you have shown interest that you need these credits, but only one can respond. If the 2 of you respond, then your team will be disqualified from using the Google credits. So make sure to know that one of your team members is only and only accessing Google Cloud with these credits. So here are the frequently asked questions. Just a minute. Just a minute. So the frequently asked questions we have: can my solution solve a problem outside the scope of the 17 SDGs? The answer is no. Your solution should solve at least one or more of the 17 SDGs. Can one student or team submit with multiple submissions? The answer is still no. The limit is 1 entry per person. So each student can only be part of 1 submission. If I've submitted like a bin classifier with Andrew, I cannot go on and submit a daily route planner with someone else. Then can I still participate in the solution challenge if there is no developer student club at my university? The answer is yes. That is open, but you must be like one of the team members you're going to have should be a student at that university and also be part of the developer student club there. Then, given the implications of social distancing, ability to test with users, will the judges consider this? Yeah, the judges may, look through it and understand that you were not able to go to the field and gather all the necessary, interviews, user data needed. So that one will be considered. So these videos are for the 2020 Solution Challenge winners. There are 10. 10 top winners. All their videos are here with their solutions. Again, I will share these videos in the WhatsApp group so you can see how they arrived at their solutions, which solutions they were doing, and how they captured their videos. So this is what the participants said in 2020, those who did Android, Firebase, those who did Flutter, and TensorFlow. There are just a very few reviews on what they did. And then this is the demo day that we had last year in July, in August, yeah. It was in August where the top 10 finalists were announced and their solutions. Okay, so I can't wait to see what DSC Mbarara University builds. But before that, we were supposed to be joined by the faculty advisor, Mr. Kim, but he wasn't able to join in. However, he has sent me in a speech that I need to read to you guys. He had complications trying to join in, so he sent me what he wanted to pass on to you guys, and here it is. I'm going to quote it verbatim. So, greetings, innovators. I appreciate the efforts incurred by Weasley and the team to have the Google Developer Student Club at MAST. It was long overdue. Thank you, everyone, for sparing your time and data to join this call meeting. This is a commitment that can take you places. The university is highly supportive of such activities, and most especially the Faculty of Computing and Informatics. As you are aware, we have the Solution Innovations and Incubation Unit that is mandated to mentor and guide innovations, not successfully push their projects to the market. You should also be aware of the Android Soft Tech team that I mentored to bring a product called GetApplot to the market. This product later won the Ministry of ICT and National Guidance Awards, called the NISIP Awards. The team has been working tirelessly to redevelop the product and further renamed it to Evently mobile app. As a faculty, we have established a reputation in the country when it comes to innovations, and I can assure you that we are committed to supporting you through this club to making sure that you benefit and raise the flag internationally. We have partnerships with multiple universities that can still offer us support if any of you is in need of a team from any of such universities. For example, Massachusetts Institute of Technology, that is MIT, and Harvard. You have seen the works we have had with them. For example, the Innovations Tech Summit for Africa, of which AET was a partner. Data Science and AI Summit for Healthcare, that is DASH in Africa. We had the MIT SANA course. These projects have been done in partnership with MIT and Harvard. So these activities are all coordinated by myself, Mr. Richard. You are also aware of the teams like the Programming Club and the university's innovation department called Center for Innovation and Technology Transfer, that is CITT, which is housed in Chumru. Let's all apply and participate in this challenge because I believe we have the brains that can win any competition. I wish you all the best, and I'm always at your service. Mr. Richard Shimera. So this is the message from our faculty advisor. He could have said this, but he wasn't able to join in. He has highlighted the different clubs, different offices, different partnerships that we can employ and use in developing our solution challenges. And he has also offered himself as the faculty advisor and someone who has mentored a lot of people out there to work with us and develop our solutions. So don't be afraid. Don't be like, how am I even going to do this? We have AET. AET was part of the Innovation Tech Summit for Africa that we had in 2019. There were partners, so we can still use them. We can work together with them and benefit from all this. So before I hand over to Andrew and the team, let me just take you through the form that you guys need to fill. Let me share this so you guys can see my new screen, Google Developer. That's the official site for the solution challenge. There is no any other solution challenge website. This is the only one. So the steps taken is register, learn and build, and then the demo day. So when you click on register, so this is the form. I'm going to take you through, though I've already registered as a person. You can read through what it says. Then you enter in your email. Now, here's the thing. The email you're going to submit through this form should be the email attached to your profile on the student club chapter. Some of you have 100 emails as if you keep them for your family. Please use the one that you have on your chapter page. Secondly, have your official full name when you're submitting. We don't want to appreciate Jet, and when I look through my records, I don't know who Jet is. Then, which developer student club are you part of? Now, this is where you scroll through. These are about 1,000 plus developer student clubs, and you're competing with all of them. Now, this is the irony. You're competing with all these guys on one stage. Same panel, same solutions, same criteria. So if you scroll through, I don't know why these guys didn't put a scroll bar, but let me try to scroll through and show you Uganda. It's at the among the last clubs. Okay, about to reach there. I think almost. Okay, so Uganda. The first one is Uptake, Bugema International University. So we have about 19 clubs in Uganda. Then you choose Uganda, Mbarara University of Science and Technology. If you want to be counted in Makerere, you can choose Makerere. And I will immediately put you on global coaches, you go there for free. So you choose Mbarara University of Science and Technology. Then, how are you associated with this DSC lead? Okay, I know I'm the lead, but please don't make a mistake and submit or register as a lead. They will disqualify you because they already know who the lead is. They already know who the core team members are, basing on the chapter page. If you're not part of the core team, don't select core team. You can only just select as a member of this club. This criteria is used as the first thing to register you. Then you have to choose whether you're part of the DSC that you've chosen, whether you're part of it, and is it at your university. If you've chosen Makerere and Makerere is not at your university, Makerere is not your university, then you specify. You say, I'm just joining the nearest DSC. For instance, BSU. BSU students can join in, and then they indicate that, you know what, I'm registering using the nearby DSC, because they don't have a DSC at their university. Then you choose the technologies that you're going to utilize. So these guys need to know. Now, this is where we have Google Cloud. So you specify Google Cloud, you can add in Firebase, you can add in any other Android. So you need to specify that you're going to use Google Cloud. If you don't choose it here, then they won't send you that mail for credits. Then your solution, you need to choose which SDG you're interested in. What is it? What solution is your What SDG is your solution trying to address? And then how confident do you feel? Are you confident enough to take on the world stage? If you're not confident, you can say, I'm not confident, and we shall get some depressants for you. If you say you're confident, we may get you a cup of coffee and your coat. And then you agree to the terms and conditions of this challenge. It's governed by terms. And then you click on next. And next, there is just submitting. There is nothing there. Okay. Edgar has raised their hand. Please join in. Unmute and talk. So,
Hey, so I had something to say before you proceed. We received a communication from the Innovation Village that they will be able to support the activities that are going to take place here. So for those guys who need extra support, guys who have teams can also talk to the guys of Innovation Village. You have a team member here, Ezra and Pima, who will guide you on how you'll access the facility or you'll access the mentors, but they're really willing to help. So those guys who have the motive to go there and do something constructive, please, you can reach Ezra. He's right opposite me. For those guys who are physical. For those guys who are virtual, he's also opposite to me. Yeah. So I have nothing much to say apart from wishing you good luck. Remember, by 31st March, we must have submitted our projects already. So you realize we have exactly 2 months. And for you to go through the project development life cycle, I think it all begins from planning. So you have to plan before you really sign up for the resources. Because if you don't plan, you may not get access to the resources. I don't know if you guys get me. You might have planned to use Android, yes. But then later on, you realize in the middle there, you need TensorFlow. What happens? You cannot access the TensorFlow resources because you signed up for Android. So you need to plan very well for your project for you to really be successful. Another thing, there's limited time. So you have to work around the clock to make sure that you get the projects done. The more the projects, the more the high chances of our DSC being on top. With that, I think I would like to wish everyone a good luck, success in this journey of development. We as a team are available to help you guys. If you have Android challenges, you can reach anyone who knows Android. Chimera has told you can access, the Android guys, Android Soft Tech. They will help you with your Android projects. For those guys who are going to do Flutter projects, the resources will be communicated later because they're not yet available. So those guys who are willing to take on maybe Flutter, you have to wait. You can begin with Android for now to give you a basis on how your Flutter project will look like. You can start on that. And then also, the guys who are not here and maybe they need a communication, please pass on the message to them. Weasley, I would like that you share the slides in the group so that those guys who have not been able to be part of this meeting can read through and fully understand. Then if they can ask questions in the group, they will be replied to. Another thing, I skipped off a bit my brain, but that deals with us accessing the resources for Google for us to do this project. The code labs that these guys are meant to use. Yes, for me, I have access to code labs because I've been using them. But then maybe the team members want access to it. Are you able to provide a link? That's a question for you to answer because I'm not able to answer that as a co-lead, but you'll be able to. Another thing, I think we talk about the credits. For you to have credits, I think you must have an account with Quick Labs, right? Yeah, but for us who have interacted with Google things. I think those guys who have quick lab accounts, you can also access them. There are some free credits that you can do, maybe 6 steps into introduction, something, and the other things will need credits. But for now, you can start on that because I think on first signing, you're given like around 15 credits to learn. So as we wait for the other code labs, maybe you would start from there. It's something easy, there's guidance, that it will give you a basic understanding of everything. For now, let's maximize YouTube. YouTube videos are there. If you don't know how to do Android apps, if you don't know how to use TensorFlow, YouTube does that best. In addition to the extra mentorship you'll get from either the team here, Android Softtech, TIV, or Hive Collab, because all these are willing to help us. There is a working space here. If you need internet, you can come here, do your project, and go away. At least that one, we have been given a guarantee that you will have access to internet for your projects. So those guys who need internet, you'll come here. We have talked to Ronald. For as long as you're here to do a DSC event, you'll have access to free internet. Okay? I think that's all from my side. Thank you. Back to Weasley.
Okay, Andrew, thank you for that. I was meant to really talk about the Innovation Village offer because I talked to them last time I was there, and also had an email exchange. So both AET and Innovation Village are all ready to take us on. You don't have to be stuck anywhere. If you feel like you can maybe stay in Kashanyarazi and you can easily walk to Innovation Village and do your stuff, you're allowed to go there as long as you're part of the developer student club. You feel AET is more conducive for you, then we are here. AET is ready for us. They will help us pass through all this, the steps taken for us to develop these solutions in the shortest time possible. And then about the Code Lab links, yes, I have the links and I'll be sharing them in the group for everyone to access. About Google Cloud Platform, there is a way developer students access Google Cloud Platform. Most of you guys have been accessing Google Cloud Platform using Quick Labs because of Pluralsight in most cases. So there's going to be a way how we access this, and when you receive that email, Google will give you the instructions. If you really need a Quick Lab account, you can create one. If you don't need one, they will have a way they give you this credit. And they're giving about $300 in credits. $300 can have about 2 to 3 projects hosted. Okay? So these ones will be coming in the mails that we'll be receiving. And any other issue? And Chris? All right, Ezra?
Yes, thank you everyone. I first apologize for having not hosted this. I had some hardware issues. Hopefully, Faith, you are listening to me because you said you had some issues with your network. Now, the first issue I'm going to talk about is the projects we have. The projects we are having are still pending. They are still. Now, for example, I've been looking through and I've been trying to see the project representatives that we are already having here. Now, there's that team of Arjuna Michael and that has even Edgar Baruku. You're doing a project on transportation, but this time we needed a name, how you're naming it. There's also this team of Abdul Kalure and Stephen Nachimbike. Those guys are doing a project and they're calling it Planning for the Future. I don't know how they are going to plan for the future. We need some modified titles for your projects which are on point. That's why I said in the chat that we are going to talk about these projects after. And I think everyone needs first to go through their projects and they see which problem they are solving and how they can name it. The team of Bradley Mujisha, they are saying they are doing a cafe management system. Okay, I will not say much. Maybe they have some other way they are going to figure it out. And also the three guys who are Brian Baluku, Patrick Okero, and Isofe, I haven't known if they have been given to any group yet. Are you in any group, Isofe? Have you joined any group? So we need to clarify on that and we see how we fast straightforward our projects. They are still pending, they are still having some issues. Yeah, that's much of what I wanted to say. But I really apologize for not hosting, but Wizard has done it better. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ezra, about that. Well, about the projects that you guys submitted, in truth be told, you need to customize, you need to restructure your project titles. Someone was saying planning for the future. What is planning for the future? Is it an app? Is it a web-based system? Is it a hardware solution? That need to be restructured. Two, every team is going to provide a document about their solution. And here's what is going to be contained in the document. One, it's going to show the restructured project title of your idea. Two, it's going to show which SDG. Is it, if it's one or two, you're going to show which SDGs your solution is trying to address. But before even you show which SDGs, you need a problem statement. You're going to make, I don't know if you should, you're going to make this in form of slides. You're going to show us the project title, the team members. You're going to show us the problem statement, which problem are you trying to address, and connect it with an SDG goal. And then the solution that you're trying to come up with. Give an overview of the solution, how it works, how you're going to collect some data, how the users will use it. If you're going to use those slides, they shouldn't exceed 10 slides. Just 10 slides from the project overview, because I need these slides and customize them for you using the Google approved and designed slides. If you've checked my slides, you will realize that these slides are branded. If they found me conducting this solution with those funny slides that we always have, they would caution me. So they provide us with branded slides that we can use for anything related to Google Developer Student Clubs. And now it's even rebranded to Google Developer Student Clubs. It's no longer Google Developer Student Clubs. They've added in the Google thing. So that's what we're going to need: restructuring the project ideas and titles, a problem statement, and the solution. I hope by the end of next week, by Friday next week, we really have this in place. When we have that, these slides and this problem statement and solution we have discussed and written about will guide us on what next to do. We can now maybe kick off the designing of interfaces. So yeah, that's it, unless there is more communication. That's basically it. So thank you for attending. I know it wasn't easy. The guys that had come physically, we thought we'd have to project and you guys see this, but that wasn't the case. However, we know some of you joined us virtually, which is okay. So there's no question or any other issue, I really sign out. The video, this video will be available on YouTube in a very short time. So you guys can go through it again and understand. I'll share the slides, I'll share the links for everyone.
I think to add on what Wizard has just said, we need to reschedule and to notify you in time that maybe next week by this time, we shall be presenting those slides, the ones that we have been required to present. So that we first present them here, we go through them and we see those having issues and they go back and they correct them before we submit them to Wizard. So we are going to have another meeting, another session today. I mean next week, like the same time, the same day, but next week, where you guys shall be presenting your slides, and if they are okay, we shall push them on and they customize them for us. So that's all.
All right, thank you, Ezra, about that. Since your event planning lead, I guess that has been recorded, and you guys will be at the same place. We can have the session starting at around 2 or 3. I know people are gearing up for the Arsenal United game. So I sign out. Good weekend, everyone.